We're a UK-based global recruiter. We've got a long history, so we started as Computer Futures back in 1986, and then we've grown up doing permanent and contract recruiting to quite a sizable UK PLC, so we're about 2,100 recruiters. Globally, we're in about 42 offices. We work different sectors, so Computer Futures would have been our IT sector, ICT, but we've gone into other sectors, so we do oil and gas, with other brands, we do banking and finance, and we do life sciences as well. So we've diversified in different sectors, we've diversified regionally, so we've got quite a large estate. So my job as CIO, I run obviously all the technology, but obviously increasingly that's been about data, so it's been quite passionate about the data and what we do with that, how we use our data effectively, how we have one set of systems, so wherever you go into any office it's the same set of systems, and how we pulled all that together, and then tackling the challenges of globalisation, how we scale, how we get a straight through processing, back office, so all of that remit is under me really. I think it's very important. I think we think we're an innovative recruitment organisation, so we're constantly changing. If you look at our base product, which was predominantly permanent, we went into contracts in sort of the mid-90s. And then contract has got more and more complex. So as we've gone into different countries, we get different legislations, different hiring laws, different legislation. So that's got more and more complex. I think if you just look at data, ultimately we're looking at people's CVs and data. So making sure that's protected, European data laws, different laws of data protection, all of that plays into it. And then you've got, the industry has disruptors in there. So if you just look at social, you've got LinkedIn playing into that space as well. And then what's the future? We're still going. People have predicted our demise. Right from job boards coming in and to, LinkedIn coming in. But we're going strong. We still make significant profit. And a lot of that is to do with how we've grown, how we've evolved, how we've innovated, and part of that is obviously the technology story and the data story. I think it's very important. I think, I certainly, as we mix in a lot of CIO circles, and I think there is people are still wedded to the old on-premise, trying to get everything, agile, but they're trying to work with old technologies. Nowadays it's about, I'm a big advocate of SMAC, so it's about how do we further our social, how do we get mobile, which is quite fundamental, and it's all about the analytics and the data and the cloud. So I think for me, to get agility, you need to put technologies in and get a mindset to do that. And one of the things I've found here, and I can see in other organisations, is just getting IT into a place where they're seen as a collaborative innovation technology and fetching the latest technology to the party, which enables the business and gets them thinking about that. So whether you just want to get better straight through processing by putting in some middle office and back office to truly mobile. I mean here, I've sort of dictated, we have a mantra that, SMAC is the strategy. So that means that, we are going truly mobile, and we're on a journey there, and we are going fully cloud. So eventually, I won't have frame rooms to manage and worry about that. It's just really about what's out there that I can plug together. And I think increasingly the skill has been, in putting that in, now I'm seeing it's about managing multiple clouds. How do you manage multiple clouds? And that's a different place to where you would have been previously as a good old-fashioned IT director saying, well, actually, I've got it all in my own frame room and I manage the frame room. Now it's about, actually, you need to manage clouds, and by the way, you're not in control of those clouds. Yes, I think that's the big thing you'll see. Previously, if you looked at because I was CIO at FTSE and then before that ICAP, it was about, we had to have control of the data, which meant we physically had, we were in control of the servers and the frame room, and we worried about access to it and plugging it together as a global network, and we had control of the system. Now it's about that cloud's gone. So if you look at the projects, we're currently moving to Salesforce, which is Salesforce manage what will be our candidate and client, some of our client data. We've got essentially Microsoft, good old what would run Gmail, email and various systems is now going to be on Office 365. So you've already started to move to a world where we're using multiple clouds, and therefore you've got your data moving around those clouds, and how do you protect that? So it is a lot of bit about how we make sure we have one core set of systems that we can look after and have a platform for future growth, which means we need that to be able to talk to multiple clouds as well. Yeah, definitely. But often I found the most interesting thing I've done in my CEO is getting control of the data. Most people, organisations don't do that. Data is in silos. And so actually understanding what data you have and what you use is quite a fundamental. It sounds quite simple, but actually you go into client data's over here, or your finance data's over here, or HR data's over here, and therefore it's quite just getting to a common database. As in a base of data that you know where it is and where it resides. So that's quite key. And then obviously there's the risk you've got always is cyber. There's a cyber risk and cyber security. So it's maintaining, making sure that's secure, and what is important to you, and what isn't from a data protection point of view. And then also what is your IP? So some of our IP here is about, we've got some chocolate sauce on how we search for candidates and how we skill code and job code. That's unique to us and gives us an edge. So we need to be very protective about that. But other stuff like email, why can't you just use Office 365? Other people worry about the security of that email. So I think it's moved on a little bit, whereas traditionally you'd sit here and say, no, I need to control all of it. Now it's about, well, no, you need to control what's in your IP and where you're going and what gives you the edge. And yes, make sure you've got the bases covered on, global data and security.